Call to order. I'll read the minutes, I guess, of the Ethics Board from February 27th at 1:30. Taneytown Ethics Board met with members Chairman Stephen Marsalek, Richard Ott, Linda Canfield, and Robert Hill. Also present was City Manager Wyprecht and Kalman. Attorney Gullo was present virtually. Chairman Steve Marsalek called the meeting to order at 1:35. Steve Marsalek read the minutes from the May 15th, 2024 meeting. There were no changes requested. The minutes passed by unanimous consensus of the board. The board members reviewed the annual financial disclosure forms and noted issues. Clerk Coleman was directed to contact individuals for corrections and advise the board when all corrections have been made. Clerk Coleman advised a member of the Parks and Recreation Board failed to submit a disclosure form. Coleman was instructed to send a letter by certified mail requesting the form and advising if the form is not received by March 13th, 2025, the individual will be charged a late fee of $2 per day up into a maximum of $250 as provided in Chapter 16, Section 8 of the Taneytown Code. Chairman Marsalek excused himself from the meeting at 1:47. The board members decided to meet on March 26th, April 23rd, and April 30th at 3:30 to review the campaign finance forms for the May 5th, 2025 election. Attorney Gullo advised the outstanding benefit assessment complaint was investigated. A closed session will be held following the March 26th meeting, March 26, 2025 meeting to further discuss the issue. It was decided by consensus to no longer require quarterly financial disclosures, but it should be made clear to all committees that any changes in circumstances require an updated form to be completed. The minutes from May 15, 2024 closed session meeting were read by Vice Chairman Ott and approved. Motion to adjourn at 3:29 p.m. by Canfield, seconded by Ott, carried 3-0. Respectfully submitted, Clara Coleman.
I'll second that motion.
I do have one change.
Okay.
The second paragraph from the bottom of the first page. It says, meeting to further discuss, not discussion. Okay. Motion carried. So in the new business, we're going to review the first report of candidate finance forms for the May 5th, 2025 election.
Have any pens or sticky notes?
I forgot to get your, well, actually, if you want to just tell me what the changes are.
Oh, thank you. Why?
Thank you. I can contact the candidates immediately.
Okay.
I have the originals here, so you all have a copy. So if you need to discuss anything, you all have a copy.
What do you want to do? Wait till the end, or?
You can just tell me what changes you'd like, and I'll make a note here so I can contact the candidates immediately.
I mean, tell you right away. Well, I'm looking at Lillian Hardy. On page 5, I got as far as page 5 on this, and it says, do you have any interest as owner or tenant, including interest in timeshares in real property in Maryland, other state, or country? Yeah, country. She said no. Well, where does she live, in a tree?
I had a question on Schedule A, employment source of income. She listed her spouse, she didn't list herself, but on the business ownership, she's owner of Bryan Safe Haven, so does she not pay herself an income?
That was my other question is, they have the address for that as Frederick Street, but there's nothing in here, what, did they lease it, or is it donated?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Now, there's Taneytown. It says 74 Frederick Street, Taneytown on page 4. And I think,
Right, but there's, under the property part of it, if they're leasing it or whatever, that should be,
yeah, you're right, they should be.
I'll contact her for
I
clarification.
think, though,
And then all those questions, associated questions need to be answered.
right, right.
just basically clarification, that's all.
I mean, she lists on page 8, she's got 100% ownership of the nonprofit. So she would have to be taking a salary, I would believe, you know, I don't, wonderful if she's not, but,
Nonprofits, whether they're required to or not, but.
yeah. I mean, if she's a nonprofit, she has a board of directors, so, you know, I mean, it's an entity, she should,
I'll contact her
Yeah.
for clarification on that.
Clara, jumping ahead to the last 6 or 7 pages of the packet, are the, just since this is my first time, are these going to be the same forms that we're going to be looking at those other 2 meetings? Funding?
Yes, the campaign finance forms are this is reporting period number 1. So
So
you look at
everyone-
those 2 more times.
And everyone, at the time they submitted it, should be blank, right? Or,
Right, as they spend money on their campaign and
money.
receive contributions, those figures will change, and they'll all be reflected on the summary sheet.
okay.
so when they write not applicable on the campaign financing summary report, then they're not spending any money or, okay,
That's correct.
receiving any money.
Mr. Kalinuk's office held as council member. I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah, I think he was probably expressing that he was running for council
Right.
member.
I did, that's why I asked about that. Really, in the first one? So she's saying she has.
Self-finance,
Kalinak also says he doesn't have any real property interest.
Really something.
That's only getting worse too, isn't it? So one of the questions I had when I looked at these firsthand, yesterday I reviewed them, Rachel Miller is the only one, and I don't have questions yet about her contributions and receipts, but she's the only one spending money, yet Kalanick and Mead are on the signage. So is she footing the bill for all of them? That's my question.
That's my understanding, yes.
Oh, okay. Are you Rachel? Yes. Oh, hi. Okay. Well, good for you. Page 3 for, is it Harry or Henry? Harry Mead?
Harry,
He has the name of the individual as his employer, and I believe in the relationship to filer as the employer, and I think he just misinterpreted those. That should be his name and self.
yeah, I'm sure he
I
just
believe.
misinterpreted
Yeah.
that, yes.
I don't know if I'm just being nitpicky, but.
On your business ownership, I mean, I know the business down the street, put on that page, it says no compensation, but you still own the business, correct? Right. Probably list the business, even though you don't take a salary. No, you just put no compensation receipt. Same with the property, because you should list that one also, because I'm sure you're renting or whatever the case may be from whoever. Either way.
So I'm sorry, what pages were those?
On page 4, for the business ownership. Yeah, that's further back in there, but they.
Yeah,
Tenant or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
yeah.
Because you listed it back here,
Question about this.
page 7, but it should have its own,
Oh, okay.
its own page.
So you think she should have a Schedule C for the business?
For that too. I mean, she's got it on Schedule C, but just on the, kind of like as an afterthought on the end of the
Okay.
7, you'll see what I mean.
So she should have a Schedule C for the real property they own and live in, and a Schedule C for the property they pay rent on.
Here's the, this is,
Not actually a director, he's the mayor.
better to disclose than not to, so. Yeah,
Understood.
Okay, I guess my question then is, the other two candidates aren't spending any money, you're covering the costs for that. Is any portion of that considered a gift to them? That they are not, that you're, because they're not reporting any gift, so I'm just, okay. Okay, right. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So you don't have, I haven't looked at the signs close enough. You don't have the treasurer's name on there, like the. Okay. 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 So they don't have to acknowledge that they're benefiting from your expenditures, that's. Okay. Okay, I'm just, yeah.
Or a fee for candidates, declare their candidacy and fill?
no, there's not. No.
That's what he said would happen.
And on Rachel Miller's, 5, it says it fell jointly or tenants by the entirety, name of other joint owners. So, joint owners, but then he's got a supplemental page, page 7, and he says jointly Kyle Viameyer. So,
That's the lease, that's the difference.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. It'll clear that up, yeah.
That's why we're waiting. So in order to be a candidate,
And the campaign finance forms.
campaign finance forms that we'll start reviewing. Annual financial disclosure forms that employees fill out ask if you're related to any city employee, but that's not a requirement, or there's no requirement for elected officials for that position. You have the same family member of siblings run for office, and that would be permissible. There's nothing in the city charter that would preclude.
If I'm understanding you correctly,
Yeah,
yes, there's nothing that would preclude a family member from running for office. Is that right, Jay? Am I misspeaking?
Not there.
You,
Nope,
you,
there he
you are, you are speaking correctly. I couldn't hear the question because, I guess not too close to the mic, but, I think the end of it I heard was about family members, siblings running for office. There's nothing in the city charter that prevents that, or like a nepotism clause or anything like that. So there'll be disclosures in the annual forms for those because they're interested parties, but there's no prohibition.
okay.
Any more changes? Is that everything? Okay. And I'll get Rachel Miller all the forms that she needs after so that she can complete all those for you. Jay, do we need a motion or anything to approve the forms after the corrections?
I think that would be in order that that the forms be approved pending the corrections to be made.
I motion that the forms be corrected and approved.
I'll second.
And a vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
All, yep.
Aye.
Okay. And I guess that brings us to the closed session portion of the meeting.
So Claire, if you want to have the statement read for the closed session.
Oh, yes,
Nope.
Chairman Marsalek has that in front of him.
Great.
Closing statement.
Yes, please.
Date is March 26, 2025. Citation of authority purpose according to the Maryland Open Meetings Act, Title 10, Governmental Procedure, Subtitle 5, Meetings, Section 3-305B, as in boy, this meeting will be closed, it's closed only. Discuss, consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. I don't have to read all these other things, do I?
No, just the one that pertains to our discussion today.
Following is a listing of topics to be discussed, the authority in the Open Meetings Act for having such discussion in closed session, and citation to the applicable provisions of the Act. Citation is Section 3-305B1, ethics complaint, reason for the closed session discussion, to review a complaint and receive legal advice. Motion to hold a closed meeting made by. Okay, Richard.
I'll second.
Carried. Presiding officer.
Yes, please. Just a reminder for everybody to get close to your mic so that Jay can hear what we're talking about.
Okay.
Is this closed meeting happening in here? Is that how we're,
Yes.
because one time we went downstairs, so I'm just.
Yeah, we're having it here.
Okay.
Yeah. The office will be closing here shortly.
So Claire, you're going to